Je vous répète.
The police force should be out looking for Castillo. He hasn't shown up before the deadline, so everyone is supposed to assume he is guilty. Everybody!
Sir, I don't quite understand. If Dr. Nicholas confessed to killing his daughter, then...
Don't understand?
No.
He couldn't have killed shots? Right. We have one unsolved murder and one fugitive who refuses to surrender. We could have one guilty man.
That's
I
pretty...
hope this is a list of all the officers you have out looking for Castillo.
No, actually, it's just the arrest reports for tonight.
Prostitution, decent exposure, prostitution. This is boring. Assault, prostitution. You guys have a one-track mind.
And we're good at prostitution.
10:12 p.m. Driving under the influence of a controlled substance, Victoria Capwell. I must be dreaming.
Mason, I want to be with you.
Victoria, you can't leave Chip, and you're not going to find anybody to take him at 2 in the morning.
So I'll bring him with me, okay?
Victor, I don't even know where I'm going to be. I may have to go to the police station. What, are you going to drag him all over town at 2 a.m.?
Look, I'm sorry. I don't want to be difficult. I'm just worried about you.
No, I'm fine. I'll be home as soon as I get this situation resolved, huh?
Okay. Well, good luck, Mason.
Booker, driving under the influence of a controlled substance.
I can handle this from now on if you want to go home.
No. Both representing Cruz, I intend to see this through until he's clear.
Cruz and Eden should have been here 20 minutes ago.
I know that. I don't know what's taking Kane so long.
I try not to repeat myself. But the Eden you saw with Elena that night was a decoy. This one is real. Kirk, in the flesh, still. But there's a higher state of being. And I've made it my mission to help you find it. Together. What do you want? Shut up, Cruz. You never did know when to keep your mouth shut. I'll bet you never expected to see Eden's ex popping up so soon, huh? Now you figured you put me away for a good long time.
No. Garbage has a way of coming back.
Brave man you are. He has a sword in his back, Eden, and he still makes such scathing comments. Well, I'm impressed. You know what impresses me even more, Cruz, is your detective work. You followed every one of my setups perfectly. Too bad you were too stupid to realize that you were being set up, huh? That what I was about to do.
Let's see how still you can stand, Mr. Castillo!
Because if you move one muscle, one tight muscle, you and your darling girlfriend here, my dear ex-wife, are dead.
doing? Sitting down here so late.
I was waiting to hear from Meyson. Can I take your coat?
Okay.
I'm very glad you came back, baby. I thought you were going to stay away a lot longer.
Well, yes, I did too when I left.
I'm glad you were able to resolve things so quickly.
Well, I didn't resolve anything. I realized when I got to that hotel I couldn't resolve things alone, and I felt selfish for leaving.
Look, I understand what you're going through. I really haven't been...
Not selfish. Because of you, I'm not offering you an apology. Selfish because I left my family when they needed me.
I need you too.
I know you do. And I need you. That's one of the reasons I came back. Cece, it's not going to be the same unless we clear up the lies. I'm not going to threaten. I'm not going to get hysterical because that doesn't do us any good. But I want to be told the truth, and I deserve the truth. So when you're ready to talk to me,
Cruz and Eden aren't in the grotto, but somebody else has been there.
well, Pearl and Ted know where
No, it wasn't Pearl. I talked to him. Whoever was there smoked because I found cigarette butts. And I think they must have walked with a limp, looking at the footprints.
I can't believe Cruz and Eden would bring anyone else to the grotto. It was the only safe haven they had.
I know.
Well, they must have had an alternative place to go. I mean, in case somebody came into the grotto.
Yeah, we had 4 alternate locations that you could go to around town. Pearl's checking 2 of them out right now.
And we ought to check out the others.
All right, well, then you don't need me to do this. I can go down to the police station and stall him and...
It's 5 minutes past his deadline. He's probably called out the National Guard by now. So I'll meet back at my father's house.
Yeah, do you think that they could be working on another lead? Like the Japanese symbol?
I hope not, because up until now, all that symbol has meant is trouble.
Too tight. Well, the charming couple together again. You know, I believe she's a shade taller than you are, Cruz. Is that right, Eden? I'm sorry. You take this off so you can talk.
I hate you!
Well, you can scream if you like. Hey, both of you. No one will hear you. Oh, there's that familiar look of love that I always got from my dear wife.
I never loved you. Never!
Now, that's not the cleverest confession to make right now, Eden, considering the circumstances. Oh, well, it doesn't really matter. But I have been waiting for this moment, living for it since the first day I went into that stinking prison. And now here we are, finally having our reunion. I mean, here we are, the 3 of us, you guys, together again. Yay. Only this time, the 2 of you are at my mercy. You see, you didn't beat me before. I was never beaten. I was just delayed a little while.
Wait a minute, Kirk. You were the one behind Elena? Is that what this is about? I mean, all those insane things she was doing what you wanted?
Let's be fair here, Cruz. She wanted all the same things that I did. So it was a match made in heaven. See, when I came back to Santa Barbara, I started watching you with that fascinating woman. And then when I realized what she was doing, well, what a stroke of luck it was to find someone that hated the Catwells as much as I did. I mean, how could I not exploit that? And she was pretty, too. Elena was pretty. You thought she was pretty, didn't you, Eden? Didn't you?
Yes.
Yes. I might have been attracted to her. Some other place or time. But the timing was all wrong. Pity. She loved you, though. And you knew it.
Yeah, well, I don't know what you're getting at. I told her from the beginning that
Shut up, Cruz! You know, the last thing I want to hear about is more of your undying love for Eden! I heard about that before! Elena told me all about that, so enough is enough! No, I'd never love another woman as much as I love you, Eden. But you were always so hung up on the Mexican here. I mean, Sweetheart, don't cry. I mean, I was so much more right for you. If you'd only had the good sense to fall in love with me, the perfect preppy and his bride, maybe none of this would have been happening.
No!
Eden,
No!
I'm dreaming about you. Touching your skin.
Kirk.
No!
Kirk, leave me! Kirk! I don't give a damn what you do to me, but you leave Eden alone! You are such a bore. I mean, we've all heard that song before. But if you really don't care what's going to happen to you...
No.
Well, then maybe you might be interested to hear that I'm going to give Eden a chance to save herself. Because once you're out of the way, friend, she and I can be together again. But this time, for an eternity.
Hello? Yes, this is Dr. Clark. What? Which rig? No, I need to know which rig. All right. I'll be there as soon as I can. Thanks.
Scott, what's wrong?
They said that there's a fire on an oil rig. Some men are hurt and some may be dead. I got to get over to the hospital.
Oh, Rick, wait a minute. What about your father and your brother?
They don't know. They haven't told me anything yet.
Well, I gotta go with you. What is it?
Fire on one of my offshore oil rigs. They still haven't got it under control.
Was anyone hurt?
Yes, but they haven't got the numbers yet. I've got to get over to the emergency. That's where they're bringing them in. I got to see what I can do, all right?
Of course.
The big hand is on the 4, and the little hand is on the 2. He is 20 minutes past his deadline. That's why I have everybody in the police force looking for Castillo.
He's not guilty. Nicholas already confessed.
He confessed to murdering Elena, but what about Cruz and the zest for proving that he was innocent went and killed Dr. Schatz? What about that? Huh?
You can't prove that. And you know the most important thing is...
What?
You'll never get a conviction.
Oh, I think I'm going to get a lot of convictions, not just Cruz.
What, are you going to prosecute Eden?
You know, I hadn't thought of that. But why not? No, darling, I was thinking about your bosom buddy. You know? Miss Hollywood in black and white? Gee, too bad, isn't it? She's never going to make the Supreme Court now.
Keith, give her a chance. She needs to put her problems behind her, and she has a right to do it quietly.
Tell me, why does she deserve a right?
Because she has a baby. And something like this can destroy her family if everyone were to find out.
Meyson doesn't know? He doesn't know? Oh, he doesn't know, does he? Meyson doesn't know his wife is as high as a kite. Oh,
once in your life,
no,
please.
I don't know. I think the guy deserves to know. Much as I hate to do this. You know, what do you think about these things? You think I'd have them framed, you know? Give them to the kid. To remember Mummy by.
Here we are in this church. I mean, it's so appropriate. I do. That's all you need to say. And you can live.
What about Cruz?
Not my type. No, prison sure taught me that. No. He has to die. There's no other way for our marriage to work. It's your choice.
No choice. I'd rather die than live without him.
What a stupid attitude that is. There are over 1 billion people in this world. There's always someone else out there. Uh-huh. Well, you heard the lady. That must make you feel like a big man, huh? I know it's exactly what you wanted to hear, Cruz. Because Eden has always been your weakness. I remember how insane you were when Eden and I were married. It drove you nuts for you to just think about us living together. The fact that I was making love to her. That drove you right over the edge, didn't it, Cruz? Hey, maybe we should compare notes, hmm? Oh, no. Of course, that wouldn't be kind. Not with the lady present. Well, too bad we didn't do it a little while ago. Over a couple of beers at Buzz's. Yeah. There is something, though, that I can tell both of you. That was the happiest time of my whole life. I was married to an heiress. Well, the Capwell family, they accepted me. I had all that money that I controlled at Capwell Enterprises. And don't forget the Cranston Winery. I had the winery. And I had a nice office with a great view. I liked that view a lot more than the one from my prison cell.
I guess I didn't realize how sick you were. Think that was the happiest time of your life? It was a fantasy, Kirk.
No.
Yes! You needed help then, you need it now.
Shut up.
This is no solution to anything.
Shut up!
You are sick if you think you're gonna get away with this. Do you hear me?
Oh, yeah, that's right, Cruz. Take it easy. Don't get the man angry. It's way too late for that. I am way past angry. I'm obsessed. That's what the prison psychiatrist told me. I'm obsessed.
God, why did they let you out?
Because I was a good boy, Eden. And I was clever enough to fool them. I came up with 2 programs to save the prison a lot of money. Well, I mean, the warden, he was so impressed. I mean, something didn't seem to matter. The fact that I was slightly obsessed. I should think the 2 of you would be very flattered by all that. The fact that Kirk Cranston is obsessed with you 2. I mean, I realize it doesn't measure up with how obsessed you are about yourselves.
Well, obviously, you didn't learn anything from your psychiatrist, Kirk.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. I learned very well. I learned to avoid things from them, Eden. But the only true lessons in my life I have learned from the master.
Yeah? Who is the master?
He taught me the honorable way to live and die.
Well, I think you need a few more lessons, Kirk.
No. I learned very well. In fact, I taught Elena how to live and die honorably by one's own hand. And now, I have 2 new pupils. And I am going to teach the 2 of you what the master has taught me.
No.
Not about the living.
No, please, no.
But about the dying.
No!
You're going to learn about dying.
Keith is going to tell Mason. You know he will.
That seems to be what's on his mind right now.
Are you at the police station now?
No, I'm at the Capwells. Kane and Meyson are supposed to be here now. What do you want me to say to Meyson?
Nothing, Julia, nothing, please.
Keith is on his way over here right now. He's determined for Meyson to find out about it.
Don't tell him, Julia.
All right, but listen to me. If Keith comes over there, I don't know what to say to him.
All right, well, thank you. Thanks for calling anyway.
I'll talk to you later. Bye.
We've been everywhere. There's no sign of him. Kane's still following up on the Japanese symbol. Why don't you go home? I'll handle things.
No, I couldn't sleep right now until I find out that everything's okay.
Who were you talking to just now?
Samantha's nanny.
Samantha all right?
Yeah, she's fine. I just wanted to call and tell her that I will be later than I thought.
Yeah, I've already told Victoria not to expect me. You know, she was going to drag the baby out of bed and bring him over here. Hope she doesn't do anything stupid. Never quite know what to expect from her lately.
Mason.
What?
Victoria is under a lot of pressure right now, too, and... Well, maybe you should just try to be a little easier.
You talked to her?
No, nothing. I didn't talk to her at all. I just think that maybe you should just try to be easier on her.
Oh, thanks. Thank you very much. Right. Yes, of course, I'll be there. Thank you.
Well?
No, my brother and father aren't on that rig. But they're going to be bringing in a lot of injured men right now. Gina, it looks like I'm going to be here for a while.
It's all right. I'll stay here as long as it takes. I don't
What are
mind
you
waiting.
doing here, Gina? Look, Doctor, have the men from that oil rig 5 been brought in yet?
Yes, 2 helicopters are coming in right now. I have to head over to emergency.
Wait a minute, that was my rig. I want to know if I can do anything.
Well, I don't know the extent of the damage yet, Mr. Capo, but we could definitely use some blood on hand if you'd like to donate.
Fine. As soon as I've done that, I'll come back here to find out how many men have been hurt. Now, if you need any equipment, you need any supplies, any extra staff, you contact a man named Evan Wilson. He'll put Capital Enterprises at your disposal. I want my men to get the best, you understand me?
The man doesn't fool around.
Not when it comes to protecting the Capwell name.
All right, where is he?
I don't know.
It's okay, I'll find him anyway.
Keith, you can't tell him. You can't.
I can and I will.
Now listen to me. There is a baby in that room, and I do not want his life turned upside down,
Well,
please.
you should have thought about it before you started putting that stuff up
Keith,
your nose.
you can't do this to me, please.
Sure I can. All right, well, there are extenuating circumstances. I mean, you have to pay for your crime one way or another, and I can see you regret this. But are you willing to pay?
I have no intention of sleeping with you, and I don't have any money.
Oh, come on, you can do better than that.
It's true.
Well, you're a Capwell. Capwells have money coming out there.
If I take money out of Mason's account, he is going to know about it.
If you don't, I will tell him.
No.
What about all the money you made from your movie, baby?
It barely paid for the cocaine.
You put all that up your nose?
More.
You got a bad habit.
That's why I'm going to go get help, and that's why I need time.
Well, I don't know. Maybe Mason will see things my way when I can tell him I can pull a few strings.
He's not going to give you a dime, and the minute you hint at bribery, he is going to have you thrown out of office.
Well, he will try to, but even if he does think he can, it doesn't bother him to bring you down in the process, does it? There, see? Honey, you can't deny it.
I haven't given him much of a reason to care, Keith.
Baby, your domestic situation doesn't interest me. Hurting Mason does, and this is going to hurt him bad. That'll be payment enough, okay?
You're wrong. You're not going to hurt Mason. Mason will be upset with me, but you are going to hurt my baby.
Oh, please, spare me the hearts and flowers.
I know that you care about an innocent child. I do. I'm going to put myself in a rehabilitation center, and I'm going to beat this problem. I can be a good mother. I really can, but not without your help. Because if Mason finds out about this, I may never see my baby again.
In a rehab center tomorrow morning. If you're not, you're going to be before a judge, and I will make sure the world knows about your habit. I do not know why you want to save this marriage, but you owe me, and you will pay one day.
Feeling better?
Yes.
Why don't you get home to your family now? We can handle everything from here on in.
Thank you very much, sir. I'd like to do that.
Okay. You take care.
When you go outside, there's a car waiting and a driver. You just tell him where you want to go and I'll take you.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Scott.
I thought I'd arrange cars and drivers for the victims. Get home and to get their families where they want them.
Thank you. Didn't expect to see you down here.
But maybe I could help.
Well, there weren't any fatalities anyway.
God, I know that.
I feel very responsible for all this, I tell you that.
Well, you shouldn't, because you've always been very stringent about the conditions in their office.
Maybe so, but something went wrong, didn't it?
Well, you couldn't foresee it.
Right this way, Mr. Engel. I don't understand it. It doesn't hurt that bad. How come I can't see anything? What, were you staring into the fire? Yeah, but not... Yeah, well, if you do that long enough, it's as if you're staring into the sun. Now, here, back up. Right over here. Okay? Sit. Yeah. Now, this type of blindness is almost always temporary, but I do want you to keep those bandages on for the next couple of days, okay? Okay. All right, now, I'm sorry, but I'm going to have to leave you here because we have no room in emergency right now, but I will send in a nurse to dress up these minor burns for you.
Doc, you said almost always temporary. Is there any chance I could be blind for good? I can't work if I'm blind. I got a wife and kids.
You have to be positive, Mr. Engel. I'm sorry, but I do have to get back to the other men.
Yeah, go. I'm sorry.
Earl, I'm C.C. Kepler. I just want you to know everything is going to be all right. We're going to take good care of you. You got nothing to worry about.
I got to worry. I mean, I got a family to think about. What's going to happen if I'm blind? What am I going to do?
You don't have to worry about what you're going to do. We'll take care of you. Don't worry about a thing.
Earl, you're going to be all right.
You're the nurse?
No. My name's Gina. I'm also blind.
Really?
Can't see a thing. When I woke up and found out I couldn't see, I was scared to death.
Tell me about it.
Now, your blindness is probably only temporary. But even if it isn't, you're going to be surprised how fast you can learn to live with it.
But what about work?
There's plenty of things a blind person can do. Even if you're only used to working with your hands.
Ma'am, I work on an oil rig. I don't know how to...
I realize that. I didn't understand about blindness myself till about a month ago. But you'll be amazed at the things you can do and the way people respond to you. I mean, they're really wonderful. You might even get a better job. It'll give you a whole new sense of confidence, I can tell you that.
You sound like you know what you're talking about.
No, I'm not saying it's a bed of roses. I mean, I'd give my right arm to see a sunset again. But you'll really learn to appreciate things. And I tell you something, Earl. If I can handle it, to you it should be a piece of cake.
But that is not the ultimate. No, the ultimate, the most honorable act of dying is the act of suicide.
There's nothing honorable about suicide.
Oh, yes, Eden. The Master teaches that the supreme test of one's courage is the trust and faith in a higher order and being.
So that's what Elena was setting up those last few weeks. She was planning to kill herself.
Very good, Cruz. Elena understood the Master's teachings. She was a woman of obsession. She was able to learn well. And she carried out her plan right to the end.
What plan was that? I mean, if you're going to kill us, you can at least help us understand why.
You don't already know.
I think maybe I do.
Elena's plan was perfection.
I want to hear it, Kirk. I need to understand this.
You need to learn.
What's he being booked for?
We apprehended this guy at the scene of a murder.
Oh, really? They're dropping like flies. Who got it this time?
This poor guy that works in a warehouse down by the docks.
Gee, why'd you kill him, Kane?
I didn't kill him. I have seen him before, though. I questioned him about that Japanese symbol we found in Schatz's office.
Then why'd he end up dead?
I don't know. I went to question him. That's the way I found him. I called you cops immediately. You can check your log sheets if you'd like.
All right. Lighten up on him. Take his cuffs off.
Hey, look. Wait. Come on now. Don't you see? Whoever killed this guy probably killed Shots.
Castillo killed Shots.
He did not, and you know it.
I wish people would stop saying that.
Look, the only way we're going to stop this is to track down this Japanese symbol and figure out what it means. Now, if we waste any more time, Cruz and Eden could end up dead. I can't do it on my own. Are you going to help me or not?
Oh. All right. Okay, run up the usual suspects and push to find out the information on the Japanese symbol.
Great, thanks. Now we might get something done.
When Elena and I had finally joined forces, she'd suffered a few setbacks, so to speak. Well, Eden came back from the dead. That changed everything. You see, what Elena longed for was a perfect plan for revenge.
So she decided, with your help, of course, to plot the ultimate crime.
Oh, yes? Well, go on, Castillo. Let's just see how good a detective you really are.
Well, it's common knowledge, Kirk, that she came to Santa Barbara intending to kill the Capwells. I think when Eden came back, she realized she was not going to succeed. And by that time, she'd realized she hated me, too. She knew how much Eden and I loved each other. Figured the worst possible thing she could do to us would be to leave us living with no chance of ever being together.
Well, your boyfriend's on a roll, Eden.
And she finally decided, this is so insane, she finally decided the best way to get what she wanted was to kill herself and blame it on me. That's why she called me to the Laser Palace that night.
Yes. A beautifully structured, carefully thought out plan, and it worked.
Except that another man has confessed to killing Elena.
Oh, I know all about Dr. Alex Nicholas. It was Elena that hadn't counted on him showing up that night. Well, he walked into the middle of everything and threatened the whole plan. You see, Nicholas thought Elena was going to kill Cruz. Well, there was a struggle. And then a gun went off. Nicholas assumed he killed his own daughter. He has no idea that she pulled the trigger herself.
How do you know that?
I saw the whole thing, Eden. I watched every move on the monitors at the Laser Palace.
I'll be damned. You were the one I heard in the maze.
Yes, every step of the way, Castillo. Well, of course I had to be there. I had to make sure that all the evidence pointed back to one suspect. And of course, I knew that Keith Timmons hated you. So he did a good deal of our work for us without even knowing it.
How could you have been in Santa Barbara all this time and no one had recognized you?
Elena and I, we spent a good deal of time studying the master's lessons at a bungalow that I rented down near the beach.
That's where she was disappearing.
Yes. You were never able to follow her there, were you, Sophia? She was very clever. Well, I was clever, too. I mean, I'm surprised that the two of you didn't even do a second take when you saw me. At the courthouse.
No, you weren't there.
Yes, I was at Cruz's trial from beginning to end, gavel to gavel. I thought Mason's opening statement was eloquent, and then it just went all downhill from there.
Kirk, you know, you're not only clever, you're brave, aren't you? I mean, you're so brave that you helped Elena kill herself.
She reached a high spiritual level.
If you find it so attractive, why haven't you joined her there?
I will.
Oh, I doubt that. I know you, pal. You're using this religious mumbo-jumbo to hide behind. I mean, you may kill us, but you're not about to kill yourself. You know, as much as I disliked Elena, I admired her courage. The woman was afraid of nothing. Whereas you, my little friend, are afraid of his own shadow. You wouldn't risk stubbing your toe, much less suicide. And I think that master of yours, if he has any sense of all, knows you for what you are, Kirk. A completely gutless coward.
No, I am not a coward!
Yes, you are!
And the power is the spirit! And I will be one with the spirit. I will be one!
I mustn't do that. No, I have a much better plan for the two of you. You're going to have the ultimate satisfaction. You're going to take your own lives.
Victoria, I can't believe you. Who is with the baby?
Mrs. Fox from upstairs.
You woke her up
No,
at this hour?
she was already up. I explained the situation. She's taking care of the baby.
You should be home asleep. I have to resolve the situation with Cruz and Eden.
Yes, Mason, I understand, but I have had a tough night, too. I need to talk to you.
I'm sorry. This takes priority.
Oh! I see. Okay, do I ever make your list of priorities? Am I ever up there first?
Victoria, that's unfair. We don't know where they are. Their lives could be in danger.
What about my life? Forget it.
Our problems will just have to wait.
Oh, you know, and I've heard that before, Mason, but one thing I haven't heard is, I love you. And, boy, you know, that would make the waiting a lot easier.
Sorry, but Ralph Kennedy is here. He wants to talk to your father about the oil rig fire.
I'll take care of it.
Sorry to interrupt. It's okay. Mason's under a lot of pressure.
Yeah, I know. I was, trying to pick a fight with him so I'd have an excuse to leave.
Leave? Where are you going?
Julia, you were right. I can't do this by myself. Every time I am under pressure, that I feel tense, I want some cocaine. I want it badly. I can't live my life like this, so I'm going to check myself into a clinic.
I think that's a very sensible thing to do.
It's not sensible. It's desperate.
Sit down. I'm going to talk to the judge, and I'm going to get him to drop the charges, and I'm sure that he will when he knows that you're in a clinic. And if we can get Keith to keep his big trap shut, Mason will find out for him.
Well, Keith came over to talk to me, and I think I convinced him not to say anything. Julia, I'm going to tell Mason that I'm going to take the baby and go visit my mother. Of course, I can't take the baby where I'm going. Would you take care of him, please, while I'm gone?
Victoria.
And listen to me, Mrs. Cobb, she's terrific with Samantha, and the few times that Chip has been over there, she's been wonderful to him. And I know that you would take great care of him, and he knows you. You would really be helping me a great deal.
Okay, if that's what you want.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
I'm really glad that you're getting help.
Yeah. And you'll be taking care of the things that are most important to me.
I'll promise to do my best. You can trust me.
Couldn't believe it when I tracked down the original deed. The oil rig was a wedding gift to Pamela Pepperidge, Cece's first wife. When they got divorced, Cece got ownership of the rig in exchange for the settlement he gave Pamela. But he never got around to changing the ownership papers.
But Capital Enterprises has run the rig all this time.
That's right. But legally it belonged to his ex-wife.
So I suppose all Dad has to do is change the name on the deed?
No, it's not all that easy now. Somehow this slipped through the cracks. But it's been well over 20 years since that agreement. It was a cutoff date. If title wasn't changed within 10 years, the agreement's null and void.
So you're saying that Pamela has owned this rig all this time and there's nothing Dad can do about it?
That's about the size of it. If I were in your dad's shoes, I'd hold off. until I found out whether there's going to be any lawsuits or not. If there were, this little slip-up might well prove to be a blessing in disguise. Pamela could be liable.
So you're saying this is a pretty valuable rig, though?
Usually top earner, I'd say. We're talking big money. You'll relay all this to Cece for me?
Oh, you bet I will, Ralph. Thanks for coming out so late. Huh? Always a pleasure. Thank you very much.
Appreciate your help, Evan. Thank you for doing all you can for them.
You must be wiped out.
Oh, Sophia, those men have been with me for 10, 15 years. They work real hard. The least I could do is to be here.
I'm proud of you. We got a long way to go, you and me. But I love you very much.
I've got to get out of here before he comes back.
You having any luck getting your wrists undone?
No, the ropes are too tight. It's cutting off my circulation.
Okay, we'll think of something else.
No!
Baby? What, babe?
Oh. Would you touch me? Would you touch me one last time?
Baby, don't talk like that. Don't give up now, Eden. There's always a way around a coward, and he's nothing but a coward.
You must have killed Dr. Shaw.
He would have killed us by now if he had the guts. He's just using this crackpot religious stuff to work up his courage. I will find an opening, baby. I swear to you, and when I do, I'll take it, and we'll be out of this.
This is my own plan. Elena had nothing to do with it. No, I thought this one up all on my own. I think it's much better than hers, too. It's got a lot more kick to it.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
I'm preparing you for the most honorable act of all.
No!
Gary Hart is back tossing his tattered hat into the presidential ring again. What are his chances for success?
What's in for the holidays? Get ready for a gala fashion show on the next Oprah Winfrey Show.